अस्सलामुअलैकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम सर।
ये बच्चों सॉरी मैं एक्चुअली बिजी था, आपकी लैब थोड़ी लेट स्टार्ट हुई। मैंने मैसेज कर दिया, आप भी अपने ग्रुप में मैसेज करते हैं, ज्वाइन करते हैं, आपके पार्टिसिपेंट पे हम स्टार्ट करें। और ये उसामा बशीर कौन है? ये इन्हीं के थ्रू, जैसे आपने स्लेट के थ्रू ज्वाइन किया वैसे ज्वाइन करें। वेटिंग रूम में एंटर होंगे, अच्छे ज्वाइन नहीं हो।
हाँ नहीं इधर ही बोल रही थी यार है सर ठीक ठाक हो।
वालेकुम। स्लेट में इशू आ रहा है ज्वाइन करने में? हेलो, स्लेट से ज्वाइन करने में इशू आ रहा है?
यस सर आ रहा है।
चले मैं लिंक शेयर कर देता हूँ ग्रुप में, वहाँ से कर लें। आपके ग्रुप में मैंने लिंक शेयर कर दी है, जिन जिन को स्लेट से ज्वाइन करने में इशू आ रहा है वो उस लिंक से ज्वाइन कर, राइट?
Okay.
यस।
सर ये बात ग्रुप में बताएं, इधर तो जो बैठे हैं वो सुन रहे हैं, ऑलरेडी उन्होंने ज्वाइन कर लिया है।
जी स्टार्ट करते हैं। मेरा ख्याल है अभी मैंने लिंक भी शेयर कर दी है आपके पार्टिसिपेंट को। किस किसने मैटलैब इंस्टॉल किया है अपने लैपटॉप्स में? मैंने लास्ट टाइम भी आपको कहा था कि नेक्स्ट टाइम आप आएंगे तो यू शुड हैव मैटलैब इंस्टॉल्ड ऑन देयर लैपटॉप्स। और लास्ट टाइम जो पोर्शन हमने कवर किया था उसको प्रैक्टिस किया आप सब लोगों ने या नहीं? जी
जी सर, अली अकबर, तैमूर और उसामा से और मैंने कर
कर लिया, चलें बहुत अच्छी बात है। जिन्होंने कर लिया दैट्स राइट, जिन्होंने रहता है वो भी आई होप सो कर लेंगे। और नेक्स्ट टाइम आप सब लोग जो हैं वो मैटलैब इंस्टॉल करके लाइएगा ताकि नेक्स्ट प्रैक्टिस की जा सके। So we are moving forward, and the next step that we are going to consider is the solution of equation. I hope so that the task that we have completed in the previous lab session, you all have command on these tasks, that how we can define different variables on MATLAB, how we can define matrices on MATLAB, perform simple mathematical operations on matrices, and then how we can plot different graphs by using the MATLAB. 2 to 3, I mean more than one lines we can also generate by using just the hold on. This time we are going to move forward and we are going to solve different equations, how we can solve different equations on MATLAB. Starting with the most basic.
सर आपने वो पिछला लेक्चर जो रिकॉर्डेड था वो अपलोड कर दिया स्लेट पे ताकि हम प्रैक्टिस कर
आज
सकें।
कर दूंगा, मैंने कोई भी नहीं किया, आज सारे करूंगा।
चलो सर, थैंक यू।
ठीक है, okay. So we are moving forward for the solution of simple equations on MATLAB. We will be able to, in this session, we will be inshallah able to solve simple equations on MATLAB. After that, we will move forward and solve complex equations on MATLAB as well, right? So we are going to, I'm going to share a file with you, the Word file, where we will start working that how we can solve equations on MATLAB, and then we will switch to the MATLAB for solution of those equations. So I have shared a Word file with you. Shared आप लोगों के साथ? Yes. Okay. So we are going to consider this task as our first task. That task that we are going to accomplish in today's session, that is the solution of equations. We all are aware that in means mechanical engineering and mathematics, we come across different types of equations that we are supposed to solve, and finally we get the parameters, or we can say the variables that are the solution of those equations. Just consider the most simplest equation: 3x minus 20 is equals to 30. If this is my equation that I'm interested in solving, this equation can even be solved manually without even with the help of calculator. While we will start working that how we can define this equation of MATLAB, how we can solve this equation on MATLAB, and then we will move forward, and quadratic and the third degree and fourth degree equation, then we will be solving it on the MATLAB Starting with the most basic, we will come to know that how we can define these equations on MATLAB and which command will be used for the solution of this equation. As done previously, different commands are used in MATLAB for the different solutions, or we can say for accomplishing our different tasks. The first task is to have an idea that which one is command will be used for which task, and after the command we are supposed to follow the command syntax. We must know which one is the syntax of the command that we will be following, right? If we are so far we have done the plot command, we must know that if we are interested in drawing the graph on the MATLAB, then which one is the command? Plot will be the command, and after the plot we must know the syntax. There is no fixed syntax for every command. As you will know that so far we have done each task that we perform, each task that we do on the MATLAB, there is a different syntax for every command. We are supposed to make yourself familiar with those syntax of MATLAB. Like if we are supposed to write square root, I think so I have already told you that if we are going to write square root on the MATLAB, we will not be using the symbol of square root. We will be writing sqrt on the MATLAB for writing square root. The symbol that we use on the, you can say, calculator or other anywhere, we will not be able to use that symbol on MATLAB. We will be using sqrt as a command, and after that we must know the syntax that sqrt is supposed to follow. For using the sqrt, we must also know the syntax, right? Similarly, the procedure over here, that for a solution of equation, we must know that what is the command that we will be using for the solution of equation. If we are going to solve the simple equation, the command that will be working on the MATLAB is the solve command, right? If we are going to solve equation on MATLAB, then we will be using the solve command. After becoming, we can say, familiar with the solve command, we will now come to know that what is the syntax. If anyone asks me or you to solve this equation on MATLAB, then obviously we will be taking help from the solve command. Okay, so अगर आपको कोई भी इक्वेशन सॉल्व करने का कहा जाता है, तो अब दैट पॉइंट फर्स्ट स्टेप इज कि किस कमांड से आप इसको सॉल्व करेंगे. सो वी आर अवेयर कि आपके पास सॉल्व कमांड यूज होगी. कोई भी टास्क आपने कंप्लीट करना मींस इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करना है, तो उसके लिए एज आई हैव टोल्ड यू वी विल बी यूजिंग द सॉल्व कमांड. आफ्टर कंफर्मिंग इट, नाउ नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज द सिंटैक्स दैट द सॉल्व कमांड विल बी फॉलोइंग. जो हमें सॉल्व कमांड यूज करने के लिए जो सिंटैक्स हमें चाहिए होगा, नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज दिस वन, राइट? फर्स्ट स्टेप इज टू know that which one is the command that will accomplish our task. After that, second step is then look for the syntax of that command. So if anyone asks, कोई भी आपको कहे कि ये equation आपने solve करनी है, not this one, as I have already told you, we are starting with the most basic. This equation can even be solved manually without even the help of calculator. Without using calculator, we can solve this equation. Its answer will be 30 plus 20 divided by 2, that will be 25. So even without calculator we can do that, but we will be starting from this and then we will be moving forward, that how we can do this task as well. So solve command will be used for the solution of our equation, as we are already aware, right? So after that, the syntax that we are supposed to follow is put the round brackets inside, then start the inverted comma, right? The syntax for solve command is put the round brackets, after that start the inverted comma, then write your equation that you are interested in solution. Write the equation. So any equation, we will means either this one equation or quadratic equation or higher degree equation, any equation that we are interested in solving, we will write that equation over here. And if I am going to I require the solution. एक सेकंड वेट करें, आई विल बी बैक.
अटेंडेंस हो गई है. यार कोई बता दे अटेंडेंस हो गई है या नहीं हुई अभी?
जी भाई हो गई है.
हो गई
अभी तो
भाई हम आज आप खुद लेट आ रहे हो, आपको क्या पता हो गई है
यार? कब हो गई यार? मैं यहाँ जब क्लास स्टार्ट हुई है ना, मैं तब का हूँ, अभी तक क्लास वो अटेंडेंस नहीं हुई है.
चल लड़ो ना यार, लड़ो ना
यार
यार. अभी आप लोग रोने लग गए थे,
ना
मैटलैब पे यार काम करते नहीं, आपको अटेंडेंस की फिक्र है। मैटलैब की है
ये चीज अली, ये चीज
तू अटेंडेंस बता दे बस।
हो
यार।
गई
तूने मेरी
attendance
जबान
मेरे
सुन,
को।
मैं कह रहा हो गई है, बाकी अगर तूने औरों की मानी वो कह रहे नहीं हुई।
हो गई, जाओ सो जाओ अभी।
तो कैसे हुई है? सर ने खुद बोलती रही है।
मैं खुद, सर ने खुद बाहर की है।
चलो ठीक है।
सो जाओ फिर।
खुदा हाफिज। यार काइंडली जरा डिस्कशन वाला ग्रुप देखना।
तो डिस्कशन वाले ग्रुप में क्या है?
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम। Okay, so we will be writing the solve command. After that, put the round bracket, start the inverted comma. Within inverted comma, we are supposed to write the equation that we are interested in solving. So I will write this equation over here, right? 3x minus 20 is equals to 30. After that, close the inverted comma, then put another comma and write the variable for which you want to solve. This equation is in x, while all of the time our equation will not be in terms of x, right? If my equation, suppose my equation is 3x minus 2y plus 5z is equals to 20, right? It can be my equation which is in terms of three variables that are x, y and z. So after the equation we will be writing the variable. This variable will be that we want to solve our equation for this variable. This equation can be solved for it can be separated for x, it can be solved for y, it can be solved for z as well. So we will use the solve command, put the round brackets, after that start the comma, within the inverted comma write your equation. After that put a comma and write the variable. The variable will be जिसके लिए आप इस इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करना चाह रहे हैं. इधर योर इफ योर इक्वेशन इज इन सिंगल वेरिएबल, अगर आपकी इक्वेशन एक सिंगल वेरिएबल में है, मींस x की टर्म्स में है, इवन देन फिर भी आपको यहाँ पे वो वेरिएबल डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा दैट आई वांट टू सॉल्व फॉर दिस इक्वेशन फॉर दिस वेरिएबल. मोहम्मद हमाद, हमें आपका पता है, आप प्लीज अपनी वीडियो बंद कर लें. ओके, सो दिस वन इज द सिंटैक्स.
सॉरी वो भाई मिस्टेक ऑन हो गई थी।
हरकत से नहीं लग
ये
रहा.
करके रहा ऐसे ये पूछें।
चलें ठीक है, जो भी कह रहा है उसकी मर्जी. चलें जी. सो जब भी आपको किसी इक्वेशन को मैटलैब के ऊपर सॉल्व करने का कहा जाए तो वी विल बी यूजिंग सॉल्व कमांड एंड द सिंटैक्स आई हैव टोल्ड यू. Round brackets, within inverted comma we will write our equation, and after another comma we will write the variable for which we want to solve our equation, right? So this one is the simple syntax for the solve command, but it will not work in a way. Solve command की एक और condition है that the variable जिसकी terms में आपके पास equation होती है. Variable mean it can be in terms of x, it can be in terms of y, z, a, b, c, d, any variable. Over equation can be in terms of any variable, u, v, जो भी आपके पास होगा. Most of the time आपकी जो mathematical equation जिनको हम कहते हैं, we write those equation in terms of x, y and z. This command, this we can say this solve command with this syntax will work when we have defined over variable as a symbolic variable. सॉल्व कमांड और उसका ये वाला सिंटैक्स उस वक्त काम करेगा जब आपने जो इक्वेशन का वेरिएबल है आप उस वेरिएबल को डिफाइन कर चुके हैं एज ए सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल. सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल मींस मैटलैब के अंदर आपको उन वेरिएबल्स को सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल के नाम से डिफाइन करना पड़ता है जिसकी टर्म्स में आपकी इक्वेशन होती है. नाउ सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल आपने कैसे डिफाइन करना है? इट इज द सिंपल वे. बिफोर यूजिंग, आप इस कमांड को यूज करने से पहले उस वेरिएबल को सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल डिफाइन करेंगे, अदरवाइज उसके बाद आप नहीं करेंगे, मैटलैब विल गिव यू एन एरर. So the command, or we can say, is to use define symbolic variable is sims. आप sims use करेंगे. Sims is the command that will define your symbolic any variable. After that जो भी आप sims के बाद लिखेंगे, that variable will be defined or inserted by the MATLAB as a symbolic variable. यहाँ पे आपके पास अगर x है, after the sims give a space एंड देन राइट द वेरिएबल x y z a b c d, कोई भी आप जो भी आपके पास वेरिएबल है आप वो यहाँ पे सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल डिफाइन कर सकते हैं। ओवर हियर आपकी जो इक्वेशन है इट इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ x, so we will be writing defining x as a symbolic variable. After that we will be using the solve command and then we will press the enter and matlab will give you the solution of this equation. Once again for this
सर
equation
ए की सिंबॉलिक जितने मर्जी वेरिएबल
आपकी आवाज
कर लें।
आपकी आवाज कट रही है।
सर अब आ रही?
जी आ रही थी लेकिन कट रही है, बताएं क्या कह रहे हैं। एक ही सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल में
सर ए की कमांड, ए की जो सिंबॉलिक कमांड है उसे जितने मर्जी वेरिएबल सिंपलाइज कर लें।
आप स्पेस एंटर करें मींस x है, आप y भी डिफाइन कर लें, z भी डिफाइन कर लें। मींस यहाँ पे अगर मैं ये एंटर करूंगा इस सेंस में, इसके बाद एंटर करता हूँ तो x y z तीनों सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल सेव हो जाएंगे। मुझे y z की नहीं जरूरत, मैं सिर्फ x डिफाइन करता हूँ। आफ्टर दैट x आपके पास सिंबॉलिक वेरिएबल डिफाइन होगा। मींस अगर आप इस इक्वेशन में आते हैं, इस इक्वेशन को आप सॉल्व करने से पहले यहाँ पे तीन वेरिएबल डिफाइन करेंगे ना, x y और z। आप सिम्स के बाद स्पेस x स्पेस y एंड स्पेस z।
ठीक है सर,
ठीक है जी।
थैंक यू सर।
Okay, so इस equation के लिए once again we do not even require calculator, right? But we have started from this simplest equation. After that means अगर आप एक quadratic equation ले लें, x square minus 30x plus 20 is equals to 0. Suppose करें आपके पास ये equation है, means this is not even a very complex equation, quadratic equation है, आप इसको भी easily solve कर सकते हैं with the help of calculator or even without the help of calculator, but manually it will take some time, while with the help of MATLAB by writing the same command, using the same command, using the same syntax, just writing the equation over here. We will write the equation over here and then we will press enter. Our equation will be solved. Its possible answers will be given to us by the MATLAB within no time, right? So अगर आप इस इक्वेशन को कहें कि मैं जी MATLAB के ऊपर सॉल्व करूंगा, that is not an appropriate option. So if we will be solving the quadratic equation within no time, we can solve our quadratic equation, while if we will solve this equation manually, then it will take a lot of time. Moving forward, I have this equation x cube. I am writing these equations arbitrarily. मुझे नहीं पता इनका solution जो है वो real number exist करेगा या complex number की form में आएगा। इन एनी केस जो भी होगा आपके पास इसका सोल्यूशन आ जाएगा। कुछ कंडीशंस में ये भी होगी कि आपकी इक्वेशन सॉल्व नहीं होगी क्योंकि हम इक्वेशंस आर्बिट्रेरीली लिख रहे हैं। आई एम नॉट श्योर कि वो इक्वेशन आपके पास ठीक भी होगी या नहीं। सो आई हैव दिस इक्वेशन x क्यूब प्लस 2x स्क्वायर माइनस 5x प्लस 7 इज इक्वल्स टू 0, राइट। सो अगर मेरे पास ये मींस हायर आवाज जी, मेरी आवाज क्लियर आ रही है? आवाज में इशू तो नहीं है?
सर बहुत ज्यादा शोर आ रहा है पीछे से।
शोर आ रहा है पीछे से? पहले मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि हम उस शोर को कम कर सकें। एक सेकेंड। जी अब आवाज आ रही है? शोर कम हुआ है या उतना ही है?
सर वैसे ही है।
किस किस्म का शोर? मेरे पास तो यहाँ शोर नहीं आ रहा है, आपके पास कैसे शोर आ रहा है?
सर वो बच्चों की आवाजें आ रही हैं पीछे से काफी।
आपकी आवाजें आ रही हैं, एक सेकंड।
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, स्क्रीन स्टक हुई हुई है।
हमार तू जो पैम्पर लेने आया वो पैम्पर लेके घर जा, सुकून कर आराम से।
रिकॉर्डिंग
मार्केट
हो
में
रही
खड़ा
है।
यार तेमो रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है यार।
तो ये पैम्पर लेने आया हुआ है, क्या हो गया? गलत बात थोड़ी की है मैंने।
यार ये यहाँ पर
वो हारिस की फैक्ट्री भी तो है पैम्पर की, सस्ते में मिल जाएंगे।
तो उधर ही गया हुआ है ना हमाद।
ये हो गया।
तो उसको
एक ही
टीसीएस करवा दो।
हाय हाय हाय।
क्यों रे हाँ भाई, आपको भी चाहिए?
हाँ, इसने मुझे हेलमेट बनाना है।
रेहान भाई ने आईफोन का कवर बनवाना है।
काइंडली यार चुप हो जाओ, क्लास सुनने दो यार।
आपको मैं कह रहा हूँ
काइंडली आपकी आवाज ना है।
जी अभी बैकग्राउंड नॉइज कम हुई है?
यस सर।
ये आवाज क्लियर आ रही है? अभी तो कोई इशू नहीं है।
नो
नो
सर।
सर अब कोई इशू नहीं है, थैंक यू सो मच।
So we were moving forward and we were solving, means we can say the complex differential equation that are not easier to solve without the help of MATLAB. We can say we have written this equation. If we will solve this equation manually, it will take a lot of time. But as we have started with the simple equation that how we can write the syntax for the solve command, we will use the same procedure over here, right? I will put this equation in this solve command within round brackets and inverted commas. After that, I will put a comma and write the variable for which I want to solve my equation. And within second, the solution of this equation will be in front of you with the help of MATLAB. While if we are supposed to solve this equation manually, it will take a lot of time. And higher order, we can say if we will increase the power x raised to power 4, then further it will move, means continue to be more complex to solve manually. While by using the MATLAB, we can easily solve this equation by using just the solve command, and the syntax will remains the same. So the procedure to means put the equation in the solve command, MATLAB will not accept the equation in this form. Started from this equation, if I will copy and paste over here, MATLAB will not accept this equation in this form that is present over here. Means I will put this equation over here. MATLAB will not accept this until or unless I will insert a multiplication sign over here. When I will put a multiplication sign over here, then the MATLAB will accept this equation. Means we are supposed to follow the pattern of MATLAB. If I'm supposed to write x square over here, so how I will do that, I will put in this way, not the same way. So x raised to power 2 will be written on the MATLAB in this way. Then minus 30 multiplied by x. In mathematics, जैसे हम means 30x combine कर लेते हैं, it is obvious that it is 30 multiplied by x, right? In MATLAB, we are supposed to write that in terms of MATLAB, right? So this equation will be written within the solve command, x raised to power 3 minus 2 multiplied by x raised to power 2 minus 5 multiplied by x. In this way, this equation will be written within the solve command. So if you have any confusion that how we can solve our simple equations on MATLAB by using the solve command, you can ask. Otherwise, we will implement the same procedure on MATLAB. यहाँ तक कोई confusion है तो पूछ सकते हैं. Otherwise, I'm going to implement the solution that how we are going to solve this equations on MATLAB by using the solve command. I have opened the MATLAB and now I'm going to share it with you, the command window. Most of the times, as I have told you, we will be working on command window. So first of all, if we are aware that we are going to use the solve command, so we must have defined the symbolic variable, like x is my symbolic variable. Now I will be writing my equation in terms of x. If my equation is in terms of y or z, I will be defining that variable as a symbolic variable. जिस variables में आपकी equation होगी, we are supposed to write
to define that variable as a symbolic variable. After that, I will write solve, and the syntax will start with a round brackets, then with an inverted comma. After that, I will write my equation, like the simplest one, 3x minus 20 is equals to 30, right? This is my equation that I'm going to solve. For which variable? I'm supposed to write over here the variable x for which I want to solve my equation. When we are using the solve command, we will warning will appear in terms on the MATLAB, that is for the symbolic variable. When we will define the symbolic variable and use it for the solve command, a warning will appear over here. But as long as we are getting the answer, we will not focus over the warning. While if it will be an error, then obviously we are supposed to remove that. So जब तक आपके पास means वो वार्निंग आ रही है तब तक आपने इसको मेन इतना कंसर्न नहीं लेना, लेकिन अगर आपके पास ऑब्वियसली एरर आ रहा होगा then we are supposed to remove that error. So we have solved the simplest equation, then we are moving toward the quadratic using the same syntax. After that, write over here the quadratic equation, x square minus 5x plus 6. Once again, this equation, I'm writing these equations arbitrarily. Then this equation is in terms of x, so we are supposed to solve it for the variable x. This is a quadratic equation that we are going to solve by using the solve command, and these two are the answers over here. Obviously quadratic will have two solutions because it's power raised to power 2, so we will have these two equation we can say solutions over here. Now we are moving forward, going to solve the or we can say complex equation as compared to quadratic, that is x cube minus 6x square plus 5x minus 8 is equals to 0, right? This one is my equation that I'm going to solve. After that, I will put a comma and write x over here. Then I will enter and I will be given this solution. Now, so far जो आपके पास solution थे that were 2 and 3, previously आपके पास solution था 50 by 3. This equation is written in a very complex way. Root of z raised to power 3 minus 6z square. तो इसको मोर सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए मींस अगर आपके पास आई थिंक सो दिस सॉल्यूशन इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ कम्प्लेक्स वेरिएबल, सो इस कम्प्लेक्स आंसर को भी मींस अगर आपके पास आपका आंसर्स हैं या जो सॉल्यूशंस हैं वो कम्प्लेक्स हैं, इवन देन दैट दोज आंसर्स विल बी रिटन इन टर्म्स ऑफ मींस आयोटा 1 + 3 आयोटा 1 + 7 आयोटा एनी आंसर जो भी आपके पास हो. तो अगर आपने आपका आंसर डेसिमल फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करना है, MATLAB will use the double command. Double is actually the command that will convert your answer into decimal means into decimal. If it is, then which is the answer means this one is the, it is saved by the name of answer. अगर ये हम किसी नाम से सेव कर लेते means A B C D any name, तो यहाँ पे आपको डबल के बाद वो नेम या एलिमेंट लिखना होता है in which your answer is being stored. So over here we have not named any variable. आपका जो आंसर है that is saved by the name of answer. So I will write answer over here, and this will, it will convert your this answer into decimal form. ये आपका same answer है that is present over here. So in MATLAB, when we are supposed to solve or convert your answer into decimal form, then we are supposed to use the double command. As we will be moving forward, different commands will be coming in front of you, and we will try to make ourselves familiar with the commands that are most relatable to us. So according to means we can say in the solve command, when we were supposed to solve the equation, we will be using the solve command, and when our answer will be written in terms of complex form we can say, and we are supposed to, it is not all of the time that this complex form will be written when our answer will be complex. It might be possible कि आपका answer जो है that is in terms of real number, आपका answer real form में है, even then MATLAB has written in a very complex way, so we can convert that into decimal form by using a double command. And the syntax for double command is simple. Within the round brackets we will be writing that which one is the variable or which one is the answer that we are interested in converting into decimal form. So these are the three answers over here for the solution of this equation. As it is maximum power is 3, so the solutions over here are 3 solution, 5 plus 0 iota, 0 plus 1.7 and 0.3 plus 1.178 iota. So if you have any confusion so far that how we can solve the equation and how we can convert our answer into decimal form, then you can ask, otherwise we will be moving forward. यहाँ तक कोई confusion है तो पूछ सकते हैं जी, कोई confusion नहीं है? Clear?
No, sir, proceed.
Okay, thank you. So now, oh sorry, we were supposed to write clear. So now we are going to define means over equation that are in terms of more than one variable. So far we have just solved the equation that are in terms of x, and we have defined our symbolic variable as x. Now if my equation is means that I have written in terms of that is more than in one variable, then I'm supposed to write x, y and z. Not I'm supposed to write x, y and z. I will be defining those variables over here. वो वेरिएबल यहाँ पे लिखूंगा जो वेरिएबल आपके पास इक्वेशंस में होंगे. I will define those variables over here as symbolic variables. It can be once again a, b, c, d or any other variable. So I will be using the same command, using the same syntax over here within the round brackets. After the inverted comma, I will be writing the equation 3x minus 8y, 8 multiplied by y plus 9 into z is equals to 10. कोई भी मेरे पास एक equation है, I will put it in the inverted comma. After that, I will insert a comma and write the variable for which I want to solve. I have written x over here. It means this equation will be solved for the x. This one is the answer when we will solve this equation for x variable. I can solve the same equation for y. I will put it this, repeat the same. ये आपके पास same ही है जो आपके पास यहाँ पे था. Solve the equation is same. Just after the inverted comma, मैंने x की जगह पे y variable insert कर दिया. Now this equation will be solved for the variable y. Will be solved for the variable y within no time, and this one will be the solution when we are solving this equation for y. We can do the same for the z as well, just by replacing the variable after writing the equation within the inverted commas. Inverted commas में equation write करने के बाद, just after the comma we will be writing the variable for which we are going to solve, enter it, and this equation will be solved for all of the three variables. In this way, we can say that if we want to solve our equation for different variables, we can do that by using just the solve command and using the same pattern over here by replacing the variables. When we are interested, just variable के लिए आपको solution चाहिए होगा, just write that variable after the inverted comma by putting another comma. G, any confusion? With up to this, we can say that we are able to solve different equation, simple equation we can say, not the more complex, up to the power 3 by using the solve command. And if our equation is more than one variables, we can even solve that equation by using the solve command on the MATLAB. And the syntax is very simple, round brackets and inverted commas. Clear है यहाँ तक? I'm going to clear our window, and now we are going to solve